They told us happiness is something you chase, like ticking boxes until you feel complete. But what if everything we was told about achieving happiness was only half the story? While the world scrambles for quick fixes, fast solutions, cheap dopamine, instant gratification, and that perfect Instagram life, you could tap into a level of happiness that never fades. In today's video, I'll be sharing 3 secrets for you to build a rock solid foundation. No more living at the mercy of life's ups and downs. It is time to discover what it truly means to be alive, to have purpose, and to grow in every single challenge. So before we get into today's video, I want to give you guys a background check on how I actually got this information. So there was a point in time in my life when I was a waiter, and somehow, some way, when I was waiting at this, I can't remember where it was. I was waiting at this place, and it was actually an event for a billionaire's company. And as he came onto the stage, he said to us, these are the 3 ways that you can achieve happiness. And that is why I wanted to share this information with you. This is not something I personally came up with, but it's something that I relate to and have seen in my own life so much to the point where I said, I have to let you guys understand today's video. And there's a secret, I'm going to give you guys a bonus tip. So I've said this is only going to be 3 secrets, but I think the 4th one is actually one of the most important things. And it kind of links to point number 2, so make sure you watch this to the end of today's video. So let's start with secret number 1. It is be a leaf on a tree. So when he came on stage, he said one of the most important things is for you to be a leaf on a tree. Now when people hear that, they think, what is he even talking about? What do you even mean be a leaf on a tree? For me to extrapolate and break it down to you, what he means by this is you must be a part of something greater than yourself. Now, why does this bring you happiness? For me personally, the reason why when you are part of something bigger than yourself, when you're doing something that's not only for the benefit of yourself, but for the benefit of others, the reason why that brings you happiness is because you are no longer feeling so isolated. As humans, we are quite social creatures, and the funniest thing is that society today wants us to believe that we must all go on this lone wolf journey, go on this journey where you are by yourself, you don't have to do this with anybody, you can just fly through life by yourself and be lonely and solo. Me personally, I don't truly believe that. Of course, there's moments where you need to go through that season of isolation or that lock-in period where you're grinding by yourself. But I believe that the main reason why you should be doing anything is for you to be doing it for a greater good, doing it for something that doesn't only just benefit your pocket, but benefits the whole entire world. For example, the reason why I create these videos, as much as this is my business, as much as me creating my school communities are part of my business, there are also things that will genuinely change the life of men and society as a whole. So they're not only for the benefit of myself, but the benefit of the whole entire world, which is why they bring me passion and bring me happiness, because it is something bigger than myself. It doesn't just benefit me. I already have the information. I get to study and teach. I already have the information. I could realistically just use it all to myself and make myself a better man and start something else. But the fact that it is being shared, that for me is where the true happiness comes from. And for you, it could be anything else, anything that you could possibly start, or something else within your life that you know is not only just benefiting you, but benefiting others. And that is where you'll feel contentment. That is where you'll feel happiness, because you're saying, this is something that will be here after I'm gone. So let's say you start something that becomes a legacy business, or you do something that is not only just benefiting our generation, but generations to come. You will feel happy every single day knowing that something you have created or something that you have done is not only benefiting you and your family, but benefiting the whole entire world and generations to come. That is where you'll feel happiness. You'll feel happiness when you are part of a tree, when you are a leaf, when you are something small, because naturally, all of us humans, individually, we are something small. But when we are banded together with one like-minded, like-minded goal, that is where the tree comes from. That is where the growth is. That is something massive. That is bigger than any single one of us. That is all of us united. That is where you'll feel happiness. Because as I said earlier in this video, we are social creatures. We want to feel longing. So if you want to feel happiness, if you want to achieve happiness, if you want to be more happy, don't only do things for yourself. Now also start to do things for other people. Now start to do things that are not only going to benefit you, but benefit the whole entire world. Secret number 2, have a passion. And this is a perfect example of what I mean by have a passion. So not only do you want to be on top of the mountain, but the true joy that comes from having a passion is the journey getting you from A to B. And when you are traveling up this mountain, that is where you'll truly feel happiness. So not only achieving your goal will bring you happiness, to a certain degree, I think there you'll get contentment, but it's the journey. Having something that wakes you up every single day, having something that makes you want to just strive or maybe even push an extra bit hour longer than you thought you could do, that is where you achieve happiness. Having that passion, having that goal, having that drive, having something that you really want to achieve, that is where you achieve happiness. Currently, the saddest thing in society is that a lot of people don't know their purpose, a lot of people don't have goals, a lot of people don't even know why they're on this face of the earth. But I believe that if the majority of people knew these things, they wouldn't be feeling depressed, they wouldn't be feeling sad, they wouldn't be feeling all these things. Of course, these are natural emotions that can't be stopped, but they wouldn't be feeling it to the certain scale that they are feeling it, because they would be doing something. And I remember one of my favorite scripture, I believe it is a scripture, but I don't know the actual scripture, but it is, an idle mind is the devil's playground. If you are doing nothing, the devil can do whatever he wants with you and send whoever into your life and send whatever trauma, whatever pain into your life, because you are not busy. You're not prioritizing what you need to be doing. For example, the statement that Tate made a couple years ago, he said depression isn't real. It's false. Of course, depression is real. But I do understand what he's talking about, because for myself, I basically don't believe depression is real anymore, because I'm not going through these sorts of things. I'm not actually sitting there and saying, okay, then I feel hurt, I feel this, I feel that anymore. It's more like, in my mind, I have things to do. These are all trials, are part of my journey. They're meant to happen. They happen, it happens. Okay, fine. Let me just snap back in. Let me see what can I learn from the situation and just move on. Of course, some things happen where they hurt you, but I'm not going to allow it to put me in a rut. I have something to do. I have something bigger than myself. No longer be thinking about it, okay, I've gone into this thing. I'm not going to spend 6 days listening to sad music, sitting in my room, just eating ice cream. No, I'm not going to be doing these things. I'm going to be like, okay then, this has happened. Let me just stay on trajectory. Let me continue to chase after what I want to be chasing afterwards. And of course I feel like this, if it gets too hard, I can speak about it, but never allow it to get me into a rut, which is why I understand what he means by depression isn't real. By saying, I will never allow myself, at least the glorified way that depression is being seen. And when I mean glorified way, of course it's not a good thing, but as you can see on social media, people like to glamorize depression. They say, okay, I'm so depressed, and they put on a hoodie, they put on sad music, and they're in their room in the darkness for like God knows how many hours. And that is what they're trying to show. That is not what, for me, depression looks like. And that is not what should be perpetuated. Because if you have a passion, you won't allow yourself to get into that situation. Of course, you will still feel the emotions, but you won't be in that same situation when you're sitting there with your hood up, crying inside your room with Rod Wave on for 3 hours. You won't be letting that happen to yourself. So that is why having a passion is also very important, because you have something to do. You have something that is bigger than yourself. You have something that is driving you every single day, something that is making you have a meaning. And that is one of the most important things. And at that point in time, you will feel happiness, because you don't feel like you're here for no reason. You won't feel lost. You will have something that you can actually strive towards, something that you are working towards, something that says, okay, my name is Jack, and this is what Jack is meant to do. This is why Jack is here. And now Jack feels happy every single day, because Jack knows what to do. Jack has something that he wants to achieve. Jack has something that is bigger than himself. Jack has something that he will one day get. That is what is keeping Jack happy. And the journey towards that thing, the journey of climbing up that mountain, is why Jack wakes up every single day, because Jack knows that mountain ain't going to go nowhere. That mountain is waiting for him to stand at the top of it. Now that is what you want to do. You want to find your passion, find your purpose, find your goal. And that is where you'll get happiness. And from then, you'll continuously work towards it, and every single day you'll feel happy. Of course, there were some times, like for myself, what used to be my mountain was getting a good physique. Even to now, my physique is not the best thing in the world, but to now I still see it as my mountain. But I'm further up the mountain to the point where, even to now, and from when I was younger, I felt so much happiness just going into the gym. Eventually there'll be a time where my physique starts to recline when I've hit my peak. Of course, there's a point in time when you might get older, or let's say, God forbid, but I was to get into an injury, I would have a peak physique at some one point in time in my life. From then it'll be reclining, and then I'm no longer, now I'm descending from the mountain, so now I'm bored. But because my passion is getting a good physique right now, and also doing with other sort of business things, I have something which I'm going to be working towards. Of course, there are days where it's not funny, you don't really want to do it, but because it's your passion, because it's your goal, no matter how you're feeling, you will be feeling quote unquote happiness. And I think the main thing I want to understand, and well, let you guys understand inside this video, it's not really happiness you want, it's more peace and contentment. Because contentment and peace, you don't need to be sitting there happy and smiling every single day like you're SpongeBob. You don't really need that. What you need is contentment and peace, so that no matter what you're going through, you still feel relatively quote unquote happy. Because I think the threshold of happiness is actually falling. What a lot of people think is happiness is actually just contentment. The thing that they're chasing afterwards is just contentment. You're just content with what's going on. You're not sitting there buzzing about everything. Like, I'm not saying you should be sitting there and, let's say your ex is to break up to you, you should be smiling saying, yes, I've gone through a trial. Yes, something has happened to me. I can actually be sitting there happy and be like, yes, this happened to me. Yes, yes, yes. That's not what happiness is. I believe happiness is actually peace and contentment, that no matter what you're going through, no matter what is happening to you, let's be honest, not what happened, no matter what's happening to you, but depending on your situation, you will not be allowing it to get you into a rut. You are more content with basically almost everything that's happening. That is what happiness really looks like. Of course, there are a threshold underneath that was like, okay, you're upset, all the other things, but I think happiness is just contentment. What the happiness which everyone's chasing afterwards is just contentment. You are happy or calm with whatever's happening. That is what you want to be living in your life. And the final secret, before I give you guys my own favorite secret, it is don't reject change. And the thing about change is that a lot of people don't like change, and even myself sometimes I don't like change, but never reject change. And the reason why is because you never know what can happen from that change. What is this? A caterpillar, that is a caterpillar going into cocoon, going into a butterfly. The reason why I've illustrated this is because I want you to understand that this change is what will bring you happiness. This caterpillar says, I don't really want to be a cocoon, but once it goes for the cocoon, look at it. Now it's a beautiful butterfly. Everyone loves the look of a beautiful butterfly, but who cares about a caterpillar? Imagine a caterpillar said, I don't want to become a butterfly. It would be missing out on the praise and the love and the glory that a butterfly feels. So that could be you in your own life. Maybe that new goal you've gotten of maybe something like getting yourself into the gym or something. I don't know, maybe that's you getting that transformation could be birthing a new stem of happiness within your life. But you're saying, I can't be bothered, I don't really want to do that today. You're rejecting the change within your life. And that change could be the thing that births a new transformation in you that makes you become a whole nother person, be on a whole nother pedestal, a whole nother platform. Maybe that's the thing that's stopping you. Maybe it is you've suddenly got a dream and one day that you've been told or you feel like you should start content and you saying you don't really want to start content, it's not for you. You're rejecting that change. And maybe that change could have got you a million people who are influencing and helping them out. You don't know these things. There's so many different versions of change within your life and just changes in life in general that you could be rejecting, and they're stopping you from receiving the happiness that you're looking afterwards. Even for example, to go back to my sitting there listening to Rod Wave with your hood on type of sad music on type thing, if somebody comes in your room and says, turn off the music and go outside, and you say, no, let me stay in this, you are rejecting change. You are rejecting literal change. At that point in time, you are living in your depression. You are saying, I want to stay in this situation, rather than saying, you know what, they're right. Let me go outside with them. Let's go, I don't know, maybe you didn't really grow up in a sporting background, but let's go play some football, or let's go play some basketball. If you're American, let's go play some American football or soccer. Let's go do something. Maybe it's not a sport. Maybe it is, let's go to the park and just sit there and talk. Let's have a picnic, whatever it may be. Let's change environments. So now you've gone from whatever sad environment you're in to a more positive environment, but you say to yourself, no, I don't really want to do this. I'm going to reject that. You're going to stay sad. But if they say to you, let's go out, and yet you actually go out, trust me, you'll see a change in your life. You'll see how happy you can truly be. And that is it for the 3 secrets. Be a leaf on a tree. Be a part of something bigger than yourself. Have a passion. Have something that makes you want to wake up every single day. Something that when you go to sleep, you are thinking about it. Something that you can actually strive towards and want to achieve. And finally, don't reject change. Don't be scared of change in your life, because you never know what can come from it. And the 4th secret, which I wanted to give, which I actually haven't written down, is have a challenge. And it also links to have a passion, but make something be challenging you. As much as you can have a passion, if your passion isn't challenging, if your passion is something small, such as I want to do 10 steps every single day, you can say that is your passion. Because there is no challenge in that, you'll get bored of it eventually, but I don't really care about this. But if you have something that is so challenging to you, and not challenging to the point where you can never actually achieve it, and it's also talking about flow state basically, where you are not doing something that is so boring that you just be like, I can do this easy, I don't really care about it, like 10 steps. But you're not setting some insane goal such as run 100k in 1 hour. You can't do that. As a human, it's not possible. But let's say you said to yourself, okay, I don't know the 10k speed limit. I don't know how far long it takes to do 10k. But let's say you said, I want to do 10k. Now that is a more realistic goal, which you can actually have a passion towards, and it is challenging enough to the point where you say, okay, I'm going to enter flow state for 10, 15, 30, 100, how many days it may take you until you achieve this goal. Because it is challenging enough to the point where you can actually achieve it, but it's not out of skill where you can't achieve it, you will enter flow state, not even just like an hour thing, in a continuous daily thing where every single day or as many days as you possibly can, you'll be thinking about this thing and want to work towards it to the point where you actually achieve it. So ensure you have a challenge in your life, something that you can actually love, something that you want to work towards, a challenge that you can actually say, okay then, it's enough for me to enter flow state, I'm going to continue to work towards this thing, and one day I'll achieve it. And that is secret number 4, have a challenge. And to finalize it one more time, be a leaf on a tree, have a passion, don't reject change, and have a challenge in your life. Thank you for watching today's video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. From this video, you should know how to be happy from now on, or at least content. It should be there. You should understand. Hopefully you made some notes. You didn't just sit here watching the video after for no reason. If today's video helped you, comment down which secret definitely changed your perspective on the way for you to achieve happiness. Additionally, I've opened my free school community, so if you're interested in joining and having close access to myself, click the link inside the description.